It's Thursday, August 29, 2019, and this is Globespan 24x7 News. My name is Samuel Signandan, coming to you live from Georgetown, Guyana. Here are the major headlines for today. Elections will be delayed with merger of house-to-house registration and claims and objections, says Jack Dio. Guyana's first oil production vessel arrives. Host venue agreement signed for CPL games in Guyana. Guyanese writer Peter Kempadu passes on, and GPL re-energizes new express feeder in Region 3. We start off tonight's news by telling you that the Liza Destiny, Guyana's first oil production vessel, has arrived in the Stabroek block after traveling nearly 11,000 nautical miles from Singapore. The floating production, storage and offloading FPSO vessel journeyed for 42 days after a ceremony in June 2019, at which First Lady Mrs. Sandra Granger was named Godmother. After clearing customs, the vessel will be connected to the spread mooring before hookup and installation begins in preparation for production, storage and offloading of Guyana's oil. Open quote, it's exciting to have another significant milestone completed as we continue on the road to first oil, end quote, said country manager Rod Henson to mark the occasion. While we still have a great deal of work ahead of us, I'm extremely proud of our entire team, both onshore and offshore, and their focus on working safely and being protective of the environment in all that we do, end quote, he added. This FPSO is a significant component of the Liza Phase 1 development, which involves 4 undersea drill centers with 17 production wells. It has a production capacity of up to 120,000 barrels of oil per day and an overall storage volume of 1.6 million barrels. During normal operations, there will be at least 80 persons living and working on board the vessel. ExxonMobil Guyana remains on target for first oil by early 2020. While the Guyana Elections Commission GECOM has announced plans to launch an extensive claims and objections exercise to sanitize the voters list, the opposition is of the strong opinion that it is just another tactic to further delay the holding of elections in Guyana. Addressing his weekly press conference today, General Secretary of the PVPC, Barra Jack Dio, reinforced his party position on the matter, declaring that his party is not in support of the decision.
With this merger, the most optimistic scenario is to go to claims and objections in November, because the merger will take about 3 months, and then elections on the 27th of April next year. So you understand that this merger will not improve the database. It is a delaying tactic once again. It will not improve the database. If you don't merge the data, you have a simpler way of capturing all these people by getting the 2,000 who have registered of the 285,000, the new ones, to just go back and register. And this time in an environment that is consistent with GECOM's manual, which says that it must be done in the presence of scrutineers from the parties. The last time it was not done through this exercise. And so our point is that
a statement released by GECOM on Tuesday said the Commission has an obligation to produce a credible official list of electors in the first instance and ultimately credible elections. As such, the Commission said it will continue to further deliberate on other matters of importance for the holding of elections within the shortest possible time, and Secretariat will continue to implement a number of operations activities, in particularly training of polling day staff and procurement of non-sensitive materials. So far, some 297,000 persons have been registered in the ongoing house-to-house registration exercise. The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM announced yesterday that it will increase the working hours for the staff working in the fields for the house-to-house registration exercise. The Commission said in a statement that staff will now have to work from 10 hours to 19 hours 30. Previously, enumerators worked varying hours based on which geographical region they were located and whether they worked on weekdays or weekends and holidays. House-to-house registration is slated to come to an end on Saturday, August 31, as ordered by GCOM Chair retired Justice Claudette Singh. GCOM said that some 300,000 Guyanese already registered in this ongoing cycle of registration. The government said the inclusion of that data into the National Register of Registrants database would aid in the compilation of a credible official list of electors. While the opposition People's Progressive Party have argued that the planned merger of data from the house-to-house registration will not improve the quality or credibility of the database, rather it will further contaminate the National Register of Registrants and cause further delays in the holding of elections. As such, the Commission said it will continue to further deliberate on other matters of importance for the holding of elections within the shortest possible time. In light of the recent petition filed in the High Court by the opposition seeking to have the government resign and prevent cabinet from meeting, Member of Parliament Anil Nandlal says that the government could expect more court action due to their illegal status in office. We'll tell you more in this report.
After successful passage of the December 21 no-confidence motion, it was expected by law that the coalition government resign from office. But 9 months later, and this still has not been done. Opposition MP Anil Nandlal filed a petition ordering government to resign and further seeking an order to prevent cabinet from meeting. The reason behind this move, Nandlal stated, is because Guyana is currently struggling against tyrannical rule and political dictatorship due to government's repeated refusal to resign. He mentioned that repeated approaches to court might bring about the needed change.
Approaching the court on a regular basis to enforce the rule of law, to enforce the constitution that is being violated, must be a fundamental component of the struggle. So we have to continuously be going to the court in order to get the dictators, the authoritarians, and those who are violating the rules of law and the constitution to comply.
The opposition MP further noted that despite the fact that the courts are giving their rulings, government fails to comply. He stressed that continuously going to the courts will send a message to the international world that the current government is not willing to comply with the laws.
It allows us to demonstrate and illustrate to the world that the government of the day is prepared to continue to trample upon the rule of law and the constitution, and is prepared to continue in tyrannical rule and in unconstitutional governance despite rulings from a court.
The case is expected to be called on September 9 at the High Court. For Globespan 24x7 News, Shakima Day.
Thanks, Shakima. Oral Sample, who claims to represent members of the Ghana National Service, says that the political situation in Guyana is worrisome, describing politicians on both sides as immature and irresponsible. Sample said he will be contesting the next elections on behalf of a party called a Guyana National Service political party. Here's more.
The upcoming elections is seen as one of the most hotly contested and important in Guyana's history due to the political unrest. Nevertheless, more political parties have been formed and many claim they have different plans and shared a rather unhappy view about the current political situation. One said party is the AGNSP, a Guyana National Political Party. Presidential candidate Oral Sample is of the view that the decision the government has taken is as a result of fear, and GCOM's decision to stop the house-to-house registration will create confusion.
Now that a halt would be placed on the house-to-house registration, it can result in an oversight where you can have double names or double registration, or in the process in editing it will take a longer period now. For instance, I registered in Region 6, and then again 2 weeks ago I was registered again, and now if you're going to emerge the list, it means that you have to go through a slow process of editing. And in editing, because of human imperfection, some names could be taken off, or they could be a double registration.
Sembo claims if his party is voted into government, they will do things differently, and the party's manifesto will cater for all, especially youths.
AGNSP, our manifesto is based on entrepreneur, employment, economic development for each region and municipality, where we will regionalize all of the 10 democratical regions and also municipalize the 9 municipalities, because the municipalities are the ones to actually create jobs, especially for school leavers, youths, and that is responsible especially for what is known as community safety plans or program.
Sempo said so far they have met with persons on a one-on-one basis, and the result has been overwhelming. The party did not contest in the local government election due to financial constraints that prevented them from campaigning. Sempo claims that the AGNSP membership is approximately 10,000 people. For Globespan 24x7 News, I am Kippany Jordan.
Thanks, Kippany. The Guyana Power Light Inc. GPL energized a new 13,800 volts express feeder distribution line from Riseland to the Vredenhoop power plant, a distance of over 16 kilometers. The project was executed to the tune of $76,955,765 and will bring significant benefits to residents and businesses on the west bank of Demerara. These benefits include reduced frequency and duration of service interruptions, improved voltage quality, and reliable electricity supply. Additionally, the project has commenced the utilization of concrete pole structures for the first time within the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system. This new development is associated with multiple benefits which are to be accrued over time. PPPC frontman Barrett Jagdeo announced that his party has plans to make university education free of charge if his party is re-elected to government, although it was the same party that implemented fees. The details in this story.
General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party disclosed today at his weekly media briefing that as part of his party's vision for a better Guyana, university fees will become a thing of the past. While in government between 1999 to 2011, the PPPC through Jagdeo himself implemented fees on Guyanese students. It was dubbed user fees, an implementation meant to sustain the university. Jagdeo noted that if the party regains power within 5 years in office, students will no longer have to pay university fees.
Now we could have easily said free university from day one, but we're not happening. They promised free university, they increased the university fee by 35%. We're not going to do that. We make it clear that within the 5 years that we'll be able to do it. Whether it's year 2 or year 3, because we believe the way it's going now, we're looking at running the numbers that maybe probably in year 2 or 3 we can move into this policy. But that's why we're being cautious by saying within the 5 years. But once we promise it, it's going to be done.
Jagdeo also mentioned that plans are afoot to address the issue of persons who owe millions of dollars in outstanding university fees.
Help them too. So you will hear about those shortly. So we have a comprehensive approach here. But I don't want for a moment people to think that our focus is only confined to tertiary education, because it's also at the tech VOC level and at the different levels, the primary, secondary, nursery, primary, and secondary schools. They also have plans for improvement in those areas. The overall objective of the PPP government will be to have a world class, because we'll have a bit more resources from our revenue to pump into education and to get a world-class education for all of our people.
Since its implementation, university fees have increased yearly, placing immense struggle on students in and around Guyana who wish to progress academically. For Globespan 24x7 News, Shakima Day.
Thanks, Shakima. 18 students of employees of the Ghana Water Incorporated were the first batch of children to receive a bursary award from the company for their exceptional performances at this year's National Grade 6 assessment. Kipney Jordan was there and filed this report.
Ashley Ryan, Nishon Samaru, and Sierra Lynch were among the 18 children rewarded by GWI. All three children expressed gratitude at being in the first batch to receive a bursary award.
It was hard. You had to stay up late at night studying, and you had to read and do homework, and then going to bed late, get up back to school the next morning and go through the whole process again. But at the end, when I saw that I did so well, I felt all my hard work paid off, and yeah, I felt so elated and happy, and I even cried the day when I heard I got Queen's.
My school was a canal, and I was glad with my school, but now with my marks, because I know that I could have got more, but I wasn't focusing, and so everyone wasn't proud with my marks, but they were proud with my school.
Yes, I do feel very good about what I have done. And I would like to thank my parents and my family members that coached me. And I would also like to thank my teachers or Kofi for putting in all the hard work he has done. So I would like to say thank you to all of them.
Speaking at the award ceremony was Managing Director of GWI, Dr. Richard Van West Charles, who congratulated the awardees, placing special emphasis on the GWI supporting them through their school life.
Guyana is going to be a different place where you will grow up to become professionals and will permit you to work to be productive citizens of Guyana, of the Caribbean, and of the world. You are lucky to be born at a different time from most of us, because Guyana is about to open up for you, the young citizens of Guyana, to have a different opportunity to maximize your potential.
The children who were awarded had a performance rate between 99% being the highest and 70% being the lowest. For Globespan 24x7 News, I am Kipney Jordan.
Thanks, Kipney. The Guyana and Trinidad Mutual Fire Insurance Company Limited (GTM) has recorded a 324.8 million profit after tax for the 2018 financial year, according to the company's chairman Ram L. Singh. Singh told the company's annual general meeting on Wednesday that this represents an increase of 73.8 million or 29.45% over 2017's 250.9 million. During 2018, GTM Fire Insurance wrote new business amounting to 46 billion with annualized premiums of 175 million, representing an increase of 39% and 13% respectively when compared to 2017. At the end of the year, the total business in force amounted to 397 billion, insured with annualized premium income of 1.8 billion. As it related to motor insurance, gross revenue totaled 1.2026 billion at the end of last year, reflecting an increase of 12 million over 2017. The company's asset base grew by 2.17 billion to a whopping 9.96 billion by the end of last year. Further, the company will be making a declaration of a cash profit return of 50% of previous premiums on profit policies. Overseas-based Guyanese writer Peter Kempadu has passed away. Kempadu, 92, succumbed to a heart ailment on Saturday, August 24, while at his home in England. Kempadu became the first Guyanese novelist of East Indian descent following the publication of his book, Guyana Boy, in 1960. He migrated to the UK after marriage and pursued a thriving career as a journalist for the British Broadcasting Corporation (BBC). He also worked at the Central Office of Information in London. Kempadu's work remains an integral part of Guyana's nation's Indo-Guyanese history, as it sets the stage for many great East Indian writers, to follow. Renowned Guyanese singer Johnny Braff, known for some major hits in the 1960s, died at the age of 82 yesterday. We bring you this special story on his musical career.
Oh, love is the thing, it burns inside. If you should ever let it pass you by. Oh, love is the cherry and to hold, and never, 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 ever let it go.
Johnny Crichlow Braffett, popularly known as Johnny Braff, died on Wednesday after a period of illness while a resident at the Palms Geriatric Home. Braff is well known for the hit song It Burns Inside. He would have recorded a number of hits in the 1960s and 70s. He would have received a number of honors throughout his long career. He was also awarded the Medal of Service. The Guyana-born singer described himself in an interview with the Guyana Chronicle as the boy of the 70s music scene both here and abroad. Braff was born in Station Street, Kitty, Georgetown. He worked with music band Heartbreakers in the mid-60s, which he described as the best singing group in Guyana at that time. Braff recalled getting his big break one night while performing with the group at the Astor Cinema. It was the first time he sang It Burns Inside and a shower of tears. Vivian Lee of Ace Records was in the audience that night and sent a message saying he wanted to see Braff after the concert. It Burns Inside went on to become a big hit. In 2018, a concert featuring the Yoruba singers and others was held in his honor. Many Guyanese here and abroad took to social media to extend condolences. Reporting for Globespan 24x7 News, Shakima Day.
Please read it cover.
Thanks, Shakima. We apologize about that. The hit became popular in the 1960s and 1970s. We'll take a short break. Do stay with us. You're watching Globespan 24x7 News.
We would like to ask all of our faithful viewers to kindly like and follow Globespan 24x7 Facebook page and subscribe to Globespan 24x7 YouTube channel to receive up-to-date notifications of when we are live. Globespan 24x7 has vacancies for full-time positions such as reporters, newscasters, and news editors. Persons serious about joining a new and dynamic news team are asked to send their application to careers@globespantechnology.com. TravelSpan is pleased to announce special fares from New York to Guyana for Christmas. Seats are available to travel, and depending on which dates you choose, fares range from $849 to $1169. These are limited block seats on American Airlines non-stop flight from JFK to Guyana. Call 718-845-0437. That's 718-845-0437. Or book online at travelspan.com. TravelSpan does have a payment plan, so travel plans, call TravelSpan.
Amro's Travel Service is pleased to support Globespan 24/7 broadcasts. We provide travel solutions via our 4 locations in Trinidad. Chaguanas at 665-3383, Valpa 645-1604, Port of Spain 625-0800, and San Fernando at 652-4789. Remember, when you travel, Amro's is the way to go.
This newscast is brought to you with the kind compliments of TravelSpan GT, with locations in Georgetown and Berbice. For all your travel needs, call TravelSpan GT at 327-1701, located at Lot 3A North Road, Georgetown, between Camp and Wellington Street. In Rothal, call 337-4287, and in New Amsterdam, call 333-6230. Call TravelSpan today.
Thanks for staying with us. We'll now take a look at our regional and international news. Colombia's president has vowed to hunt down FARC rebel commanders who have called on followers to take up arms after 3 years of peace. President Ivan Duque offered $882,000 for the capture of each of the rebels who appeared in the video with former FARC commander Ivan Marquez. He was one of the main negotiators of the 2016 peace deal, which ended 50 years of conflict. But now the former commander has accused the government of betrayal. Open quote. In 2 years, more than 500 social leaders have been killed and 150 guerrilla fighters are dead amidst the indifference and the indolence of the state. Even Marquez says in the 30-minute video, referring to the high number of activists and former FARC members killed since the president took office. But President Duque hit back later on Thursday, accusing the rebels of being narco-terrorists who have the shelter and support of the dictatorship of Nicolas Maduro, president of neighboring Venezuela. U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday canceled a trip to Poland, and Florida's governor expanded a state of emergency because of Hurricane Dorian, which is forecast to become a highly dangerous Category 4 storm during the weekend before hitting the state's Atlantic coast. Trump said at the White House that he was canceling his visit and remaining in the United States to ensure that all resources of the federal government are focused on the arriving storm. It's something very important for me to be here. The storm looks like it could be a very, very big one indeed, Trump said. Currently, a Category 1 hurricane, Dorian was headed towards the Bahamas on Thursday after side-swiping Caribbean islands without doing major damage. Dorian is expected to strengthen and slam the Bahamas in the southeastern United States with rain, strong winds, and life-threatening surf over the next few days. And now for a look at what's happening in the world of sport. 1 week to go for cricket season in Ghana before the Hero Caribbean Premier League 2009 excitement begins. The government of Ghana and the Ghana Amazon Warriors signed off on the host venue agreement this morning. Amazon will play 5 home matches at the Ghana National Stadium in Providence, while the eliminating qualifier will also be hosted here. The agreement was signed by Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Cohesion, Melissa Tucker, and Team Operations Manager of the Ghana Amazon Warriors, Omar Khan, in the presence of Minister of Social Cohesion, Dr. George Norton, and Assistant Director of Sports, Minister Dow Richardson. Khan said on behalf of CPL Ghana Inc., they are very happy to be able to sign the agreement with the Ministry of Social Cohesion and, more importantly, the government of Guyana.
One of the reasons Ghana is chosen as the top country to host games, and they have even gotten playoff games since last year, is because of the tremendous support from government and from the population. The Ghana public, as you know, is enthralled and excited about CPL coming to Ghana. We are all passionate about cricket. That is why I am here, right? Because we are passionate. We want to see our young cricketers get that opportunity to develop. So with that in mind, to your question, sir, I want to let you know that the camp starts fully tomorrow. Our players are gathering today. All our players are coming in today and tonight. And from tomorrow, we start our full preparation for the tournament. We have a planned program at the stadium. We have some indoor sessions, some team building sessions, personal development and professional sessions. We have a practice game carried for Monday next week. On Tuesday, we may play 2 practice games. It all depends on the coach. Head coach is Johan Bota. He will determine the schedule. So it's flexible, but we will be training at the National Stadium from tomorrow.
Guyana was the last of the 6 host nations to sign the host venue agreement. Manchester United forward Alexis Sanchez has joined the Inter Milan on loan. The Chile international will stay with Antonio Conte's Serie A side until June 30, 2020. Sanchez, 30, will link up with ex-United teammate Romelu Lukaku, the striker having joined in after 74 million this summer. He is the highest earner on Old Trafford, and it is believed that United are subsidising his wage around £400,000 a week to allow the move to Italy. Sanchez has had a disastrous 90 months at Old Trafford since leaving Arsenal in January of 2018, scoring just 5 times in 45 appearances. He scored twice last season and only once in the Premier League. And that has brought us to the end of today's news. Before we go, here's a recap of our major headlines. Elections will be delayed with merger of House to House and claims and objections, says Jack Dio. Guyana's first oil production vessels arrives. Host venue agreement signed for CPL games in Guyana. Guyanese writer Peter Kempadu passes on. And the GPL energizes new express feeder in Region 3. Thanks for watching Globespan 24/7 News. On behalf of myself, Samuel Sugnandon, the news and technical team. Until next time, do have a pleasant rest of the evening. Goodbye for now.